Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over a deck tech of my Garruk Cursed Huntsman and Triumph of the Hordes Oathbreaker deck. Now, this deck was featured in our previous video. I'm not going to spoil anything, so if you haven't seen it, please stop the video now. Check out the link below, go back and watch the video for actually going on, because there's going to be some spoilers, so you don't want to ruin that for you. So we're going to do a quick overview of what the deck is actually about. So obviously we have Garruk Cursed Huntsman. He's a 4 black and green Planeswalker, comes in with 5 loyalty. Now his 0 ability is create 2/2/2 black and green wolves. Now when they die, they add counters not only to Cursed Huntsman, but to all Garruk Planeswalkers on the field in your control. The reason I've chosen him is basically, he's cool as shit. I seen him previewed in Eldraine and I was like, yeah man, Garruk is sick. Yeah bro. Fist bump me bro, yeah. And bro, he lifts, you know? We got something in common. The signature spell is going to be Triumph of the Horde. Bit degenerate, I do know, but it, I thought I'd go for it. A bit of infect, add some pressure onto the board and really make these boys sweat. So, a general overview of the deck is stall until Garruk comes out basically. So how I've done that, or I've thought about doing it, is small deathtouch creatures. No one wants to swing into you and have it blocked by a bloody 2/2 or a 1/1 and your big creature dying. So I've kind of made myself as the least inviting opponent on the battlefield by having these deathtouch creatures until it's too late. Garruk's out and hopefully we can get his emblem out, which is all creatures get +3/+3 and trample. Now combine that with Triumph of the Hordes and it's going to be a bad day for whoever's on the receiving end of that. So we're going to break the deck up into sections. We've got the ramp package, we've got Planeswalkers, removal, and then just big threats. Right, so first off we're going to go with ramp. Now our Oathbreaker is 6 CMC, it's fairly high, so we need to get there quick. So we've done that using cards such as, you got the basic ramp creatures like Birds of Paradise, you've got Llanowar Elves, you've got Sylvan, I can't even say the last name, but the card's going to pop up there thanks to the magic of editing. We got Secure Tribe Elder as well, and then we've got Farseek and Dark Ritual. Now Dark Ritual is one of the cards I do want to get out because it's extremely explosive. I can get Garruk out as early as turn 3. So with help from some of the other mana dorks in there. We've got one card in there that is covering a lot of areas. So we have Leyline Prowler. Now this card it's a 1 colorless black green. It's a 2/3 creature with lifelink, death touch, and you could tap it and add a mana of any color. So that covers kind of like the big range of what our deck's made up of. So that was a really good card to add in. Okay, now we'll move on to the removal package. Now, in a sense, our creatures are removal because they all, like a majority of them, do have death touch. But then we have actual proper instant speed removal, like so Hero's Downfall, get rid of any pesky creatures or planeswalkers. Assassin's Trophy, same deal, low cost. They do get a land in return, but I'm not too worried about that. We've got Murderous Rider from the new Eldraine set, and it like turns itself into a creature as well, which is awesome, so that's extremely good value there. Custom, non-legendary creature, so yeah, just a bit of pressure. So if people do want to start attacking into us, at least we can, you know, stop some of the bigger threats coming through if they've got trample, etc. So we have got a creature that does cover a few bases. It is removal and a creature in a package. It's Ambush Viper. It has flash and death touch. It costs 1 and green for a 2/1 snake. So if someone is going to attack into you, you just hold back 2 mana, flash it in, and then just take out the biggest threat on coming towards you then. So a bit of a surprise there. People are not really going to expect that. So Planeswalkers, so obviously we have an Oathbreaker. Now, being Garruk's 0 abilities create wolves, when they die they put loyalty counters on other Garruk Planeswalkers. Why not chuck all the beefy boys in there? So we've got Primal Hunter, Wild Speaker, and Garruk the Relentless. They all have varying features on them. They all create creatures so they can enter the battlefield and at least protect themselves if we haven't got enough on the field as it is. And then their outs / minus abilities are fairly relevant, like Primal Hunter creating 6/6 worms. And then you have Wild Speaker. All creatures gain +3/+3 and trample until end of turn. So, like, you manage to get a couple of the Garruk outs off, and you've got a really threatening board, especially with Triumph of the Hordes. So we've got 2 other Planeswalkers. We have Vraska, Swarm's Emissary. So we're playing a lot of Death Touch creatures. Why not give them a +1/+1 counter? And also, she creates an assassin that when it does damage to another Planeswalker, that Planeswalker is destroyed. So I think that's really good. It has a lot of pressure when it comes to blocking for your opponent, and they got to really think of what they're doing. Or they can sometimes slip through the net and take the Planeswalker out. Then we have Vraska the Unseen. Now this card is literally just pressure. Its ult is create 3 1/1 Black Assassin creature tokens, and whenever they deal combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. I mean, once that hits the board, you're just going to slowly start ticking her up. So +1 is whenever a creature does damage to her, it gets destroyed. So it's a pressure card really, because you don't want it sitting around, but you're going to struggle attacking into it because you're going to lose a creature or creatures. So yeah, that's the reason those 2 Vraskas are in the deck. Now moving on to utilities. I say utilities, these cards aren't just creatures and they aren't just Planeswalkers or sorcery cards. They do a bit something extra. So we have Grim Flayer. Now it's a black and a green for a 2/2 human warrior. When he deals combat damage to a player, I can look at the top 3 cards in my library and I can choose to put any number of them into the graveyard or put any number back on top in any order. So basically we haven't got a lot of like sifting through like blue would have normally, so this is our way of just kind of looking through and putting things in the graveyard, because we do run Horgak in the package, so chuck creatures in there, we can delve into Horgak for some threat. We have Harmonize, because green does not have a lot of card draw, but Harmonize is the best friggin' draw card for green, so we're chucking that in there. Worldly Tutor, find any creatures we need to that are going to help pose a threat or just keep us safe basically. And then we have Sword of Feast and Famine. Now being able to pretty much double your mana in a sense is great. Protection from black, protection from green. You swing in, you do damage to an opponent, you untap all your lands. So you can make pretty good plays and get a pretty big board with just Sword of Feast and Famine and a bloody friggin' 1/1 vampire. So we'll move on to our creatures and our threats. So creatures are mainly built up of small death touches. Are you really talking about death touch? Jesus Christ. Pal! We're trying to record a video. You stop embarrassing me. So creatures, we have the likes of like Vampire the Dire Moon, 1 black, 1/1 lifelink death toucher. I mean, you link that with Vraska's Emissary and that thing could be getting you a lot of life and actually get fairly big. Gifted Aetherborn again, lifelink death touch. Orzo of Enforcer, you crash into something, you're going to leave something behind for a blocker for ourselves. So great value there. And then we have kind of like the big heavy hitters as far as death touch is concerned. Glisser the Traitor. Now first strike death touch, that's all I'm going to say. Hapatra, making death touch snakes and putting -1 counters on other creatures, like you see in the gameplay. Why James let me attack into him for 2? I was saying that the goblins were posing a threat, so I was helping him, but took 2 life off him, got rid of a goblin, created a death touch snake. So win-win. So great card. Poison Tip Archer. Now this card will just sit there and just do work. It's reach. It's a 2 colorless black-green with reach, death touch, and whenever another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Now it can just sit there, and everyone else can just be doing stuff, and you're still pinging them for damage. So you're just chipping away like from a distance, and they might not even like acknowledge it, like 1 damage here and there, like, but you know, you keep chipping them down, and you're going to do some serious damage. So then we're going to move on to like the big threats then. So we have the likes of Questing Beast. It's a 2 colorless, 2 green for a 4/4 vigilance, haste, death touch creature. Can't be blocked by creatures 2 or less. And when it does do damage to a player, does the same damage to a planeswalker that player controls. So as far as an Oathbreaker situation, that is spot on, because we're not then constantly going for the planeswalker and ignoring the player. Then we just got some big threats. Butcher Malakir, our stuff dies, you've got to sack stuff. Carnage Tyrant, just pressure, it's like a big threat, trample, hexproof. God Eternal Ronus works towards our Triumph of the Hordes, doubling creatures' attack power, giving them trample with Triumph of the Hordes, and just dealing infect damage. Then we have, how do you even say that, bud? Is it Oran, is it?
Oran Frostfang?
Yeah, cool.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, something like that.
Something like that, you're right.
So we got Oran Frostfang. All attacking creatures gain death touch. Win goes along, fits in with what we want to do and what our creatures are doing, because we're going to be creating wolves with Garruk. They haven't got death touch, so let's give them death touch. Just put even more pressure on the board. And then Thragtusk is Thragtusk. So yeah. So the list of the entire deck and what lands I have in here is going to be in a link below. That'll take you then to Aetherhub. We'll be putting all the decks from the previous video in the match. They'll all be in there. If you like what you see, have a look. Click on some of the cards, take your TCG player, you can purchase them, and it gives us a small contribution. Super duper. If you like what you've seen, please like, share and subscribe. We do have an Instagram page as well, @PTWizards. So check that out, some behind the scenes stuff. And I think we're going to be doing a giveaway very soon, because we want to get the subscriber rate up. We want to hit the magical 1,000 subscribers. We're trying our best, and if you guys help, that would be sick. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Peace.